Welcome back to episode 7 of Open Book. I am your host, Jody. My therapist and I were talking about just like the content creation that I make. And she's like, well, what do people watch you for? And I was like, well, people tend to call me their like older sister, like I have older sister energy. Anyways, so I'm going to claim that. I'm your internet older sister. Welcome in. Today we're going to be talking about content creation because I'm sure you guys have also noticed I've been making a lot more content lately. And then I'm going to also update you guys on the news and just chat about life a little bit. Friendly reminder, if you are interested, Jesus Christ, words, we enable annual subscriptions, so it's 15% off if you are looking to have that option. Also, we have visual, video, of course now. So pretty cool. We're on the up and up. Well, let's just get right into it. Okay, so you guys have probably noticed, I guess I don't know if motivation's the word. I actually think it's different. Okay, how do I explain this? If you are noticing a shift in me, I feel like I've actually just found my groove again. And if you noticed a lack of me, that's because I wasn't myself, if that makes sense. Like, I don't think that I have a current surge in motivation. I actually just think I have found home again. I don't know if that's like the correct verbiage, but the idea Like basically for the last 2-ish years, I really, really, really was struggling like with being perceived and just myself and content, and I just didn't feel comfortable. I didn't feel comfortable taking up space. Um, and so that's really hard to be a creator and also be live and all that. You guys saw too, there was a moment in time where I was VTubing just randomly on days that I like really just couldn't. And I'm really glad that you guys have stuck around in my moment of, I wasn't really, I feel like creating content. There was moments here and there and vlogs here and there, but I felt like personally just really disappointed in myself and the lack of content, I guess. But I think that I have just become a little more comfortable in my own body. And I have therapy to thank for that, and also just the gym. And like truly my gym grind earlier in the year allowed me to kind of unlock feeling comfortable in my body. Granted, I need to get back into the gym, but it gave me like the foundational block of what it felt like. And I was like, oh, I think that, I don't know, I think loving yourself is truly a goddamn journey, but I feel like not only am I having to learn how to love myself, as we all do, but I also have to do that when I'm being perceived by thousands of people. and I truly am like growing up on the internet with you guys, and so it was just really hard for me to navigate in a moment, but I think I found my footing. And it's less about do I truly love myself, all of myself. I don't know if I'm there yet, but it's more like now I just allow myself to take up space and make mistakes and still forgive myself if I mess up, if that makes sense. So it's not a matter of like, do I fully love myself, or is it just like, oh, I love myself enough to allow myself to like go out there, do some things, make some mistakes, learn, be just a little more fluid. Because I think that I used to really just like be scared, you know? So now I'm just trying to do what makes me comfortable, what brings me joy. But honestly, just want to take a moment to say thank you so much to my community who has truly stuck like by me through it all. And I feel like I have such a enjoyable corner on the internet. So shouts out to you guys. But yeah, so you guys can see that lately I've been collaborating more. I went to streamer games and that was really fun, but also that was like, I really struggle doing things like that. And I'm sure you probably also can tell, I get really nervous, or like it feels like a shadow of myself. I feel like that's so normal like, in big group environments, and there's also really big personalities there. So also there's like 700 cameras. It's just a very interesting environment. But as I said, Jody, I think it's gonna have a lot of fun. I think you'll get to meet people and you'll get to see people that you don't normally get to see. Like just do it, just to do it. And I always ask myself, if it weren't for fear or anxiety or whatever, would you do this thing? And if the answer is yes, then you must do this thing. Because you can't let that be the deciding factor, you know? So I do streamer games, and honestly, part of it was like, I think if I have my own streaming POV and my own community, it's actually so much more comfortable, because honestly, it's just like, I think I don't really know how everyone else feels, but it's just a lot easier because oh god, streaming dynamics are so strange, but it's kind of like, well, I'm just here to entertain my chat and like do my thing, and it's not a giant group hangout, if that makes sense. But when you don't have your own stream, then it feels like you're kind of in a giant group hangout, and then it gets to be scary and kind of awkward. But if you have your own stream, like, it's nice. So yeah, anyway, I went to streaming games. I feel like collaborating a little bit more. I've been doing my makeup swaps, which have made me so happy. The makeup swaps just like randomly spawned. It feels like I tend to do this where I just get content ideas randomly. Like they feel like they just plop like a little gift from the sky into my brain, and then sometimes I forget to write them down. It's really a problem, but sometimes when I pursue it, it becomes something really great. So I remember I was just laying in bed, and literally just had a random thought of, wow, I would really like to like make a swap with Tina. That's it. So that's kind of where it all started, and then I've been having so much fun doing that. Like, I think that one of my favorite kinds of content to create with people is like you have a shared goal, but it doesn't like it's really fluid in how you get there because it's not about like the actual goal, it's just about hanging out with this person. And it's basically like you're going on a first date with someone and you do an activity based date, okay? You take them golfing. You don't go to the movies, you like go golfing, you go bowling. It's like that's how it feels. It kind of like not that it's a first date, but it's more like it's just really fun to be and hang out with someone while you guys are doing this activity, but this activity is really like a personal expression. It's honestly a lot of my favorite things, and it's been really fun because every time that I end a makeup swap, I look so different, and it's like, wow, yeah, like everyone has so many different features, and yeah, I just love it. I love the girlies, I really do. I'm just really also glad that people want to come and do this makeup swap with me. So that's been like I feel like I said, I've been kind of been hiding. I've been a little insecure and just creating content and being out there. And it feels like Makeup Swap was such a gift. Like I was like, oh, I'm like so comfortable. I'm so comfortable making this content with you here. And I love the literal I guess goal of everything. But like I like the meat and potatoes of it too, you know? Like I'm like, oh, it felt like such a easy stepping stone, I guess, to maybe bigger collaborations or just like crazier things. And then I'm trying to think. Okay, for example, this makes me think about basically Cutie invites streamers to like come up and like give her awards at streamer like oh wait, what's that? Oh, present an award at streamer awards. You know, like people come up and they go, oh, this is for the greatest FPS streamer. Wow, and you list 4 names. So I've done it once before and blacked out, completely blacked out. I remember taking like 3 shots before and I genuinely do not, like, I just was so nervous. And so then when I was in hiding, she asked me to do it again and I confirmed because again, like I said, when I know that fear is the deciding factor, I don't allow it. But I was having such a hard time. I had such a hard time. I was like, I didn't even think I was gonna go. I ended up getting a dress just in case. But I was like, I don't think I can go. I don't think I can go. But then I was also like, well, I don't want to let Cutie down. And I know how hard it is to plan these things. I don't want to be the one person that doesn't show up. So I messaged her and I was like, hey, I should have never said yes. But I'm like, I'm so sorry, Cutie. I cannot present this award. Like, I just like cannot do this right now. And so if that kind of gives you an understanding of where I was a little bit of like a while ago. Now I like to think if she asked me, I would say yes. Would I be scared? Yes. Would I go through it though? Or would I still go through it? Yes. Like for example, Jason just messaged me. He's like, hey, we're doing a face thon. Do you want to make a song? Normally guys, I'd be like, no, absolutely not. Or like the last 2 years, Jody would say, I actually can't do that. But now I'm like, let's go do that. That sounds fine. That sounds really fun. I think that I don't know. I like care less, but also I think it's just like a feeling of you're just solidifying who I am, and it's okay to just be that. And like no matter what, it is true. Like people are going to judge you, but once you like I guess I feel a little more confident in myself that the judgment doesn't matter because, well, I'm like, I like this thing or whatever. That joke was funny to me or whatever, the thing is. Um, so, yeah, I just feel like I'm kind of just ready or like I said, I feel like I'm not particularly more motivated or doing more right now. If anything, it just feels like I am back to where I was when I first started creating. Kind of. When I first started creating, I think I was also like weirdly more confident, but also so much more insecure. I don't even know how to explain it, but anyways, if you are seeing more of me, well, shit, I hope you enjoy it. I don't know how long it'll last. I don't know. I imagine that I'll just be creating content for like my whole life. I was just talking to my mom about this because, well, actually, this is a fantastic transition into moving. Okay, basically, I called my mom because I was just feeling really sad. There's just like some stuff happening in my life that is just like sad. And so, whenever I feel really sad or alone or whatever, I always call my mom, and it does help me so much. Just like land, and we need to have a farm, and we're just making community. And I'm like, okay, that's everybody's dream. Can I actually make this? Like, what do I need to do to make this happen? And so just kind of daydreaming about this thing, and she's like, yeah, we can get animals. I'm like, and okay. So in my head, immediately I'm like, all right, I'm gonna harvest moon this. I'm going to buy one cow. I'm gonna get 2 chickens, and that's it. And we're just gonna see it. I'm like, cause I'm like, Mom, who's waking up early to feed these cows and chickens? Like, is it me? Is it John? Is it you? It's definitely not my mom. My mom stays up till like 3 a.m. and wakes up at noon. Like, there's no chance. And so the idea of like, oh, I think I will probably always create content to share. And I was like, okay, like even if I ever move to Washington, I imagine that, like, I don't know how to explain this, but sometimes it feels like creators think that leaving LA is retirement. But I understand that thought because not a lot of us have, quote unquote, like, seeing streamers grow old. Like, we are kind of the first of our kind, I guess. So I understand it, but in my head, I'm like, well, let's say I do move to Washington and I do harvest moon it up, and my mother and I live on this beautiful plot of land, hopefully. I imagine that is just now my content. And I think that it kind of just ties back into I'm really grateful that I have this community that is down to follow me throughout life and where life takes me. Because I hope that if that does happen, and I do have this cow and these 2 chickens and my mother and my friends and my family, and I bring you along for that ride, maybe that's for somebody. I'm sure that obviously as new eras happen, you lose some viewers, but I'm always hoping that it will find, like my content will find the people that it's meant for. And maybe someone's really interested in that. And I would just call my little farm the Harvest Moon Farm, and we would have abandoned my life. And if it doesn't work out, I would sell my cows and 2 chickens and then figure it out. You know, I think, yeah, I don't know. I just kind of imagine that it's so interesting because I really never thought that I would be a content creator. It was never in my, like, peripheral vision. It was just never an option. But now that I'm here and I fell into it, I really
Oh, bro,
do
how did I
love
do that?
sharing. But I think it's because my community's been so, like, there's something very validating about sharing whatever experience and people being like, that's like same. I feel like truly just chatting segment of my streams has been such a blessing to me. But not only that, like emotionally, I also just love to make people laugh and like share a little joy. And so I feel like no matter where I go, I will always create content. Will it always be the same content? No, but I'm hoping that like I said, as I change, maybe my community will change, or maybe maybe my content will find the people that it's meant for. But with that in mind, yeah. So let me update you on the move. I'm sure some of you guys know, but basically, we had it fucking perfect. So OTV is in a little stress because as we get older, people just need space. You know, imagine like every house that we've been in, I feel like two people get absolutely fucked with their room size, closet size, bathroom size, whatever. And so basically everyone's like, wait, like I kind of want a house that feels like a home. And quite honestly, guys, we ain't got the budget to house 7 people where it's really comfortable. Like the
Okay.
house that we were in last year was giga expensive, like so expensive. And I don't even think people were like really keeping comfort. So we were like, okay, let's split into two groups, 3 and 4. So it's Sean, me, Broden, John, Sid, Scar, and Toast. And we're like, all right, let's split and let's try to find like maybe like a townhome or something that's like an apartment, something where we can all be really, really close. Uh, I think we start looking maybe like 4-ish months in advance, trying to find this perfect thing where we're close together because nobody actually wants to split, you know? So we're like, okay, let's find the best of both worlds. Around month 3, we're like, okay, we're finding nothing. We are finding nothing that has fits everyone's needs, has fiber, a good. A lot of times too, basically rooms don't fit a bed and a desk, and as we are all streamers, we need to be able to fit a bed and a desk. And anyways, so 3 months in, we're scrambling. We're like, okay, we just find a place to live. At this point, we don't need to be close to each other. We don't just we need a home. So we're scrambling, and then we happen to stumble upon like these two houses right next to each other, like maybe a minute away, quite literally. If you were to walk, it's like right down the fucking street. And so we're like, this is it. We've done it. We were so sad when it ended up being perfect. So we signed the lease. My moving date kept getting moved. It was really irritating. I feel like my whole life was just like contingent on this move. And then it kept getting pushed. And then I kept getting like, oh, we don't have the keys yet. And then I say no to Camp Peak because of my moving date. Like it was just really. But it was like, fine, it's fine because we're moving, it's fine. It's just, it is the way that it is. Moving kind of takes priority. I get a call, and my real estate agent says, oh, hey, bad news. Yeah, that lease you signed, he actually never signed it. So he gave the house to another group, and you don't own this of it. So this sucked because the other group, the other 3, Sid, Sparta, and Toast, signed their lease, and I got that call on the day they moved. So they're literally moving out of our current place into their new place, and then I get the call of, actually, hey, yeah, you won't be neighbors with these people. So that has kind of fucked us. John also, his lease is ending this month, and so John also got fucked. So we ended up prolonging this lease, which is sad because if you guys have kept up, this place is not great. Our fridge didn't work for like 9 months. Our hot water hadn't worked for a long time. Like our landlord is kind of not the greatest and tend to just not listen to us. So it's just been not great. Like my lights don't work. My lights just randomly turn off all the time, and they still don't work. We had cement in the pipes because we had a leak. He was like, he swears it was hair, and we're like, but the plumber says it's cement. So, anyways, so it's not like we don't want to stay here, but I mean it could be worse. I'm happy to have a roof over my head, and hey, at least I have working internet occasionally. So we're here, and we're kind of just in limbo. It's we're here for 2 more months, which is kind of like enough time to look for a place, but we don't want to end up paying double rent, you know. So it's kind of like we're looking for a place, we're 1 foot in, 1 foot out. It's honestly not great, but like I said, it could be worse. So we're in limbo right now and kind of playing the waiting game. But for now, John moved into this place, and so he's just streaming in Sydney's old room. So it is indeed me, Sean, Broden, and John, and it's been fun, you know? It's honestly been fun. It's just, it's not ideal, but we're making the best of it. We're staying where we're close together because nobody actually wants to split, you know? So we're like, okay, let's find the best of both worlds. Around month 3, we're like, okay, we're finding nothing. We are finding nothing that fits everyone's needs, has fiber, good. A lot of times too, basically rooms don't fit a bed and a desk, and as we are all streamers, we need to be able to fit a bed and a desk. And anyways, so 3 months in, we're scrambling. We're like, okay, we just find a place to live. At this point, we don't need to be close to each other. We need a home. So we're scrambling, and then we happen to stumble upon like these 2 houses right next to each other, like maybe a minute away. Quite literally, if you were to walk, it's like right down the fucking street. And so we're like, this is it. We've done it. We were so sad. Then it ended up being perfect. So we signed the lease. My moving date kept getting moved. It was really irritating. I feel like my whole life was just like contingent on this move. And then it kept getting pushed, and then it kept getting like, oh, we don't get the keys yet, and then I say no to Camp Peak because of my moving date. Like, it was just really, but it was like, fine, it's fine because we're moving, it's fine. It's just, it is the way that it is, and it kind of takes priority. I get a call, and my real estate agent says, oh, hey, bad news. Yeah, that lease you signed, he actually never signed it. So he gave the house to another group, and you don't have a place to live. So this sucked because the other group, the other 3, Sid, Scarra, and Toast, signed their lease, and I got that call on the day they moved. So they're literally moving out of our current place into their new place, and then I get the call of, actually, hey, yeah, you won't be neighbors with these people. So that has kind of fucked us. John also, his lease is ending this month, and so John also got fucked. So we ended up prolonging this lease, which is sad because if you guys have kept up, this place is not great. Our fridge didn't work for like 9 months. Our hot water hadn't worked for a long time. Like, our landlord is kind of not the greatest and tend to just not listen to us. So it's just been not great. Like, my lights don't work. My lights just randomly turn off all the time, and they still don't work. We had cement in the pipes because we had a leak. He was like, he swears it was hair, and we're like, but the plumber says it's cement. So I don't. Anyways, so it's not like we don't want to stay here, but I mean, it could be worse. I'm happy to have a roof over my head, and hey, at least I have working internet occasionally. So we're here, and we're kind of just in limbo. We're here for 2 more months, which is kind of like enough time to look for a place, but we don't want to end up paying double rent, you know, so it's kind of like we're looking for a place, we're 1 foot in and 1 foot out. It's honestly not great, but like I said, it could be worse. So we're in limbo right now and kind of playing the waiting game. But for now, John moved into this place, and so he's just streaming in Sydney's old room. So it is indeed me, Sean, Broden, and John. And it's been fun, you know? It's honestly been fun. It's not ideal, but we're making the best of it. I think that this too has, like, I don't know, in my head I was like, is this a sign? Am I supposed to move to Washington right now? Like, everything is kind of going wrong. It's like the perfect storm, and so, is this it? But I don't know. I guess I don't know. So I've kind of, like I said, just been waiting. I feel like what does Wayland do?
I remember when I was in there first, I saw it, and I was like, oh my god, it's so painful. And they're like, no.
That's true. It looks painful, but you don't even feel it.
You're dying.
Yeah.
Sean, it's time to play Yoru.
Dude, I didn't want to say I was a one trick, guys. I was really just trying to play other agencies.
I will set you the fuck up.
Oh my goodness.
What's it?
Oh, fuck yeah.
I just didn't want to
What's up,
play
Niche?
Japanese characters. I feel like being Japanese just felt like I was going.
Dude, you're so stereotypical.
Like, I didn't want to be Japanese.
All that jazz, look, man.
What do we need sense, right?
We could do that scented. We could do kind of your feeling fluid.
I don't
We got
want
basics covered.
He wanted them. We play Cypher, but does anyone play Cypher here?
Not like.
I could try.
No. I think you just play whatever you're most comfortable with.
I really think you should
We
play.
need to smoke for sure, yeah, but.
I could play Astra.
That's good.
Oh, you play Astra? That's crazy.
Astra?
Oh, one of you, raise Vice, yeah!
Guys, we have VCT setups now.
Is this a VCT setup? Oh my god.
He said,
But it like feels enough.
Can you make Sean wash his hands? Why do I need to? What does it have to do with me?
I feel like it can.
I'm gonna fold you too.
Take over a little bit because you're like, oh my eyeballs, and it starts to like.
No, we did not win.
Is the pinkness of the eye just like a symptom of like all those things?
It's hella. That's just hella contagious. Yeah, but what do you want him to do about it? We already know it.
The eye-ness is like kind of the main deal of it. Wait, John, have you ever looked in the middle and realized that like Sonic Shadow is like more light? Not even here, like this is here.
Hey, I'm gonna stun this. Sean, do your thing.
Also, I was muted this whole fucking time, sorry, I was washing my hands.
Oh, okay. No, that's good.
There's no point, you're already sick.
Can you shut up?
Yo, watch me outplay these bitches. Oh, he's feeling it. I've not heard this level of confidence. 60 hours, fuck.
I'm about to
All
close.
five though. All five, literally all five.
Ooh, all five. That's like a five.
I'm stuck. Guys, I'm in a really interesting spot.
Oh, dude, I'm in so much pain.
I'm stunned in 15. One's running up right now. They're close to me.
I blanked.
Blind one? 52. Does that blind me?
Whoa, that was a wacky round. I think that was a good time. That was a flavor time.
Loading, so it's like,
I shouldn't have crouched. I had the perfect flash. It was literally the Eye of Sauron, and they were throwing.
Everyone, we're gambling this.
Okay.
Everyone.
oh, everyone.
Yeah. Can you put a suck here? Or sorry. No, never mind. Everybody good luck.
Hey, just free ball this shit.
They're not here.
They're gonna know.
Yes, they are. We're gonna. Never mind, they're B. That should be Immortal 3, which is crazy. You know what?
Hear me out.
Actually, we have to stop this. We gotta stop idealing. We're gonna play our own game. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna solo queue in a 5-step. I'm gonna go into what can I do, adapt to the scenario. I'm no longer gonna make the scenario because that's hard. You know? We're just gonna I want it clear from B. Whoever's around.
I missed the line.
Oh wow.
I was moving too fast.
Spike planted. Last player standing.
No more thorns. Ooh, empty. You got anything over here?
Badly the rate of play as I missed. I'm devastated.
No,
I mean, to be fair,
no.
I'll
I
play
called
Monkey
again.
Ball.
Stop
Useless
calling.
all around.
Just fucking get good, actually. Just fucking be better.
Fine.
Actually, just get better.
Please tell
Do you
me
want to hold? Wait, do you want to hold the line B? And I'll play. I'll go TP so I can play with wherever Jody is, and then
Hold the what?
like because you have a Marshall, I imagine that you're gonna hold the B line, but I'm gonna play behind the box.
I'm gonna hold the concuss.
I like that. Just say it.
Yeah, they are concussed currently. Yeah, for the concussed.
I'm mega irritated. Missed it.
Flashing. 3, 2, 1.
Spike planted.
Okay. Gecko is in tree.
Oh, there.
Last player standing.
Wait, I'm surprised Gecko was looking at the stairs. I can't go anywhere, bro. I'm stuck.
Alright. So, who takes the Vice 11 out? Because one of us is gonna stop her.
Wait, all I have to do is kill the Vice say less.
Yeah.
Okay, if they lose T, can we clear front B and then we open the door?
Great.
Sweet. I'll have my concuss out just in case. Ah, Jesus. That's fine. Yeah, you should. One. Okay, same thing. I'm gonna clear CB.
Here's my crowd.
Around. Okay, same.
Here.
I'm gonna flash this 3, 2, 1.
Okay, raise here. 2 here. Vice here.
Down C.
Oh fuck. Reyna is down.
1.
One enemy remaining.
Vice also in water. Over here.
I didn't know much about that. I was like, is it worth? 5! Retake is the way! Good job, everybody! Around. Okay, same thing. 5-man retake I rolled this time.
I don't think I should turn around.
Yeah, I think that was your stun. You had like 2 of them stunned here, and obviously I'll just get like that.
Boom, boom. That's
So
satisfying.
you're able to
What if I
reform
one
with
stun?
Asper's stun.
No, I stunned, Seth.
Okay, yeah,
Whatever.
Okay, same thing. I'm gonna clear CB front just in case.
Okay, I'm ready.
Really hope no one's looking because I'm just not even looking.
Lot A.
Wow.
Down
We're
10,
on
bro.
to the site, I guess, now.
Oh shit, Ashley on cycle.
Someone is
Great.
nice. A lot of them are in tree.
Spike
Nice
planted.
shot.
You
Nice shot.
got stabby aim. Gecko. We have global.
Maybe I will.
Oh.
One enemy
Good
remaining.
trade.
Clinical.
Ew!
Clinical, please.
Nice. Oh, yeah.
Hello, everybody. Well, bad news. Yeah, that lease you signed, he actually never signed it. So he gave the house to. Okay, I feel like that was honestly. Are you stressed? Was that a stressful saying? I'm stressed. Yeah, okay, we'll reset. A lot of people have been asking me my book recs, and so I'm going to just give you guys my general list of book recs currently that I kind of just do all the time. To start off, I always say this, but Song of Achilles. I read Song of Achilles years ago. It's one of my favorites. It will always be one of my favorites. It is a fantasy. Basically, it's a retelling of the Iliad following Patroclus and Achilles. And if you don't know who Patroclus is, it's basically like rumored that he's obviously very close to Achilles. They don't know if he was his brother, his cousin, his lover, like whatever. But specifically, Song of Achilles follows Patroclus under the idea that he's his lover. It's really good. It's like genuinely a 5-star book for me. It is just so well done. It is so poetic and something that I think is very impressive. I think the author's name is Madeline Miller. It's like everybody knows what happens to Achilles. You know the end of the book, and yet it doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't impact how good this book is. I still bawled my eyes out at the end, and she just does a very, very good job of.
Welcome to Geekism and welcome to this hints and tips video for game starting in Tiny Glade. I actually ummed and ahed myself when making this video because personally I think the joy of the game is figuring a lot of this stuff out for yourself. But having looked at a few different forums now, I've seen a few people who really want to get invested in the game but are getting a little bit frustrated figuring out some of the core mechanics. So as well, obviously, if at this point you want to change the concave or convex these individually, we're going to bring that up like so.
Bro, I'm thinking too much. Okay, let's put the podcast. No, wait. The plan of action right now is this is going to be a town hall, and there's going to be 5 houses. First, let me make a fort. We need to protect. Protect this area. Okay. Yes.
Really telling this story and making it feel so real, and it's just beautiful. It's actually just so good. Okay, Song Achilles. Another one is Red Rising for my sci-fi lovers. This is a book I recommend to actually everyone. If somebody ever asks me what book should you read, I just say Red Rising because it feels like most people will like it because it has kind of everything. So especially like when any guy asks me what book, I say Red Rising. I just really think most guys will like this book. And it's true. Every guy that I've recommended this, I think 4 of them have read it, and 4 of them have come back to me and been like, this book rocks. It has war games, it's fucking sci-fi, it's set in Mars, okay? It has, like, friendship, loyalty, romance, like, it just kind of has it all. It's very good. It feels like if you like Hunger Games, you'll like Red Rising, okay? Another one that I always rec is Gone Girl. I read Gone Girl in high school, and I genuinely was fucking amazed by it. I actually haven't read it since. I feel like that's a good one that I would reread. But if you have not seen the movie, would highly recommend Gone Girl. I feel like I don't know if it would hit the same as you already seen the movie, but if you haven't, it's like a gem. There's a gem waiting for you to claim. Gone Girl is very, very good. It's a mystery thriller. Another one that I always read if you want just like a very easy coming of age story, it is Aristotle and Dante discovering the universe. I always say this, but this feels like a summer night and the concrete is still warm and it's just like so sweet. I personally didn't really like the second book, but I honestly don't think you need to read the second book. The first book is, in my opinion, a standalone. Another one, if you like classics, I love Pride and Prejudice. I do. I think it's like it's such a short read and yet it's so good. But I think if you happen, or like, I think you need an understanding of the times to understand why it's romantic-ish. No, not really, but like, yeah. So if you like classics, I really like Pride and Prejudice. Another one that I actually, okay, everyone always asks this. If you want a fantasy smut wreck, okay, there's not many good ones. If you're a fantasy smut reader, you know what I mean. It's kind of like you're just watching a reality TV. It's not good, but you can't look away. So I actually think that there's most are bad. Most are like 2 stars at their best. But I really like A Shadow in the Ember by Jennifer.
Big update, so I wanted to go over that with you today. There's a big list of things, so I'm only going to cover the major changes, the lights, and the clutter functionality. I'll provide a screenshot of all the changes so you can also view them on the Steam community page if you would like to see specifics. First, let's talk about the mini lights update. The mini lights patch removes the light count limit of 32. The fabric goes out and burns. I've noticed that once you do this, you can go over it and stick to it. You don't have to move it to lock it in, you just have to go.
I think is missing from this game that I wish was added is a way to copy whatever you built. So like if I built one of these towers, I could just copy it and place it over there. I think that would be a pretty good addition to this game. But sometimes it's good to have things be a little bit freeform and not.
A Shadow in the Ember is a good fantasy smut, but only the first 2 books. The last 2 books fell off, and I was kind of bad. So, anyways, but hey, we take that. We take the first 2. All right, the first 2 are very good. I ended up I recommended. My mods read this, okay, and they liked it. So, and they don't read. It's pretty good. It's actually very interesting. It's like gods and dragons, and it's I like it a lot. That's actually good. Not fiction, or like non-fiction. I think Atomic Habits is actually a very good book. I don't think it's anything you don't already know, but I think it's very easily digestible information that you probably already feel and know, and it's a good reminder and an easy read. So if you want kind of like a self-help, I guess, if you like relationship, non-fiction, anything by Esther Perel, okay? Mating in Captivity, phenomenal. Also very short. Also, I think if you are kind of non-conventional in your relationship views, like me, it was so validating to read. I have never read a book by someone and been like, wait, this is how I feel about relationships. This is, I don't know, it was really validating to read. So, anyways, those are my book recs. Was that a nice reset? That was a nice reset for me, honestly. I feel like my nervous system just whew, that was nice. Also, randomly, things that reset my nervous system. Painting. Guys, I think I'm fucking obsessed with painting. I actually I don't know. What got me into painting was I went to Michael's with the intent of I needed another hobby that's not diamond art. And I don't feel like I'm very creatively talented. I can't draw, But I was but an idea of diamond art adjacent where I'm just kind of doing this thing. And it's a craft because I love crafts and I love DIYs and things like that. I like painting furniture because I can do that, but I can't draw something from scratch, if that makes sense. So I ended up getting these canvases that have pictures already on them, and then I just paint them whatever color I want. And then that got me started in just painting in general, and I fucking love painting. I'm so passionate about it because it is my perfect craft. It is so the creativity is endless. The medium is endless. It feels like I can just, there's so many different techniques and ways that I can do it, and it is reading, I have to be an active participant, right? Sometimes I have to use brain power, or of course I use brain power. Sometimes I don't want to, but I want to do something like that. And so it feels like I found my 2 hobbies. I've unlocked my nervous system reset, which is reading when I'm ready to really lock in, I'm ready to absorb the world, I'm ready to be an active participant, and painting when I'm kind of just I want to just do something that makes me feel good, but it doesn't have to take a lot of brain power, or I don't really have to think. I just get to be creative, and I love it. If you are someone that is looking for a hobby that is just perfectly balanced, painting. Really, truly, go to Michael's, go buy the canvas that already has an image on it, and then just boom. Something that I've been doing lately is I just copy people on Pinterest. I just look up paintings on Pinterest and I just copy them because I basically painted all of the canvases that Michael sells. So I have art on them. And so now I was well, now what? So now I've just been copying. But it's been so nice. I would really recommend. All I want to do is paint. Because we are moving eventually. I packed all my things. I put everything in a box. And so I was wait, fuck it. I'm just gonna transform my room into a painting area. I don't care if it's because I'm moving soon. So to my right, I'm just going to put a giant easel and all my painting supplies, and I'm just gonna paint. I'm honestly, even talking about it makes me so excited. I just want to paint right now. Okay. Well, that about wraps it up. Now we're gonna go into Q&A. Fun stuff. All right. Thanks for listening to me yap, guys. Q&A is one of my favorite parts of this, though. This is where I feel like I step into the internet older sister segment. All right. Question. Is this from someone, a username? but, well, alright. Anonymous asks, as someone who has had to move a lot in the last few years for school and work, I absolutely hate it. Do you have any advice for how to make the moving process easier? Well, I will say, I hire movers every time. They are expensive, but they do actually make it so much easier. I don't know how I would do it without movers, and the best thing that I can say to you is that really just, I mean, moving's hard, honestly. Like, I don't think it gets any easier because it is just a lot of work. But I guess my mentality with moving that makes me like be okay with it is I just tell myself it's a very easy way to start anew and like to change it up if you are not doing something and to like get rid of things and donate things and just like truly start new. But yeah, I really would recommend, I guess, just movers, and because movers are expensive, make sure that you pack everything that you possibly can before they come. I really try to put everything in a box that I can so that the only thing they need to do is grab my boxes and then like take my bag. Which helps a lot, especially because I feel like movers generally are you pay them by the hour and they have a 3-hour-ish minimum, and they're like their prices range, but because I usually have more than like 4 roommates, it's always they're kind of here for like 8 hours. But I feel like if you're just one person, you probably just pay them for 3 hours and then be on your way. But I do think moving is hard. It doesn't get easier. I'm trying to think like what have I done to make it easier. It's just movers and playing music and trying to make the best of it. Okay, another anonymous. I often get very attached to places I live and I'm about to move. How do you make a place feel like home when you just moved? I also get I'm really sentimental. So every time that I leave a place, I always like sit in my room when it's empty. Like all the movers have come, they're about to like drive to the new place. I sit in my empty room and I just like this is corny to say, but I honestly just say like thank you to this space and for taking care of me, and like I say goodbye because I like to like close a chapter. This is okay, I talked about this. That was why when I revisited, because Faye's moved into our old house, right? So when I revisited the old, it was really weird for me because it was like, okay, I've closed this chapter, but now I'm in this room that I lived in for like 18 months, and it's, I don't know how to explain it. It was so weird. But yeah, I also get very attached. But to make my place feel like home when I moved again, I love decorating. So I feel like I didn't really solidify this until right now, but truly what makes home feel like home to me is putting pieces of me in it, and that is through decorating. And when I packed up all my stuff and I was living out of my boxes because our moving plans got fucked, I literally was so sad and I was avoiding my room for like days. And I was like, what? I didn't even notice it, really? And then I sat down with myself and I was like, wait, I'm like hanging out in the living room so much. Like, what is it? And I come into my room and I'm like, yeah, you're full of boxes. My shelves are empty. My coffee table's empty. All my art is off my walls. Like, it just doesn't feel like my room. So I'm like, no, I don't want to hang out in it. And I was like, okay, what can I do about it? What can I do about it? I don't know what to do. I was like, fuck it, dude. I'm decorating for Halloween. I have these boxes that are like, technically I store all my holiday stuff in boxes and they are packed away, but they're like way easier packed away because all my art and shit is packed in bubble wrap and is like at the bottom of this box that I can't get to. But all my Halloween decor, it's like not that much stuff, but it's a lot easier. Sorry, I keep looking to the left because I'm looking at it. But I just was like, wait, I'm just gonna decorate for Halloween and hopefully I'll just keep it up for 2 months and not mind. It will be past Halloween, but maybe I won't hate it. So, I'll turn my camera so you can see my shelf. I'll show you my coffee table so it doesn't be too hard. So, and once I did that, I've actually been at peace. I just shoved all my boxes into my closet so I don't look at them, and then truly just decorating and making the space feel like mine is all I need. Truly. So I hope that maybe you find some joy in decorating as well. Or just like, I don't know, maybe a little cozy. That is the end of episode 7. Thank you guys so much for listening. I hope that you enjoyed this yap session and that, I don't know, I just hope you have a good day. I give you all my positive energy and I love you guys. I hope you have a good one. Thanks for listening. And don't forget, if you want, you can listen more on my Patreon where I will do some more yapping and more Q&As. Bye.
Today, we're going to be attempting what may be our wildest challenge.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to episode 7 of Open. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Open Book. I'm your host, Jody. Today is chapter 6. Obviously, something's new. We're trying out camera. I basically, when I created this podcast, was going through a moment in time where I didn't want to be perceived really at all, but still had a lot on my mind and wanted to yap, but I didn't feel comfortable in front of the camera. But I think I've gotten a little more comfortable. I've come to terms with being in front of the camera. And so, let me know what you think about this setup. It's probably going to change often because I'm just going to take my laptop with me wherever we go. But I know you're probably like, wow, Jody, that open book is so sporadic. The topics are sporadic. News for you. We have topics today. We're trying many new things because I do think it's kind of hard to yap when you don't have topics. I really learned. You can really only yap to yourself for 30 minutes. Also, I just realized that because of this webcam, I'm being so much more animated and I'm moving. Okay, I'm gonna really try to keep this mic close. First and foremost, guys, I released a song, which is crazy to say. But that's kind of what we're talking about today. But before we dive into that, somebody DM'd me on Patreon and was like, hey, can you turn on annual subscriptions? So we did that. We turned on annual subscriptions. You get 15% off if you subscribe annually, if you would like to do that. And if you like, thank you. I'm taking this moment to say, you're my go. Truly. Thank you for the support. Also, everyone on Patreon is so nice. So, I love you. Anyways, let's get started. So, I'm referring to my notes. Oh, this is kind of nice, I'm not gonna lie. Usually I just be shooting the shit, but this is working. How and why did I get into music? Guys, buckle in. Some of you on my stream have heard this story, but I'm telling you again. Okay, rewind. Last year, it's probably, I think it's like September, October. And OTV's like, wouldn't it be fun if we made an OTV Christmas album? To which I was very scared, but I was like, that sounds really fun. I'm currently outside of my comfort zone. Let's do it. So I show up to this vocal lesson. I meet Annie, which you all know, this beautiful blonde woman who is incredible at vocal coaching. And she teaches all of offline TV to sing a little bit. Cue back that name. Yeah. So that happens, and we record this Christmas album. And honestly, her, the vocal coach, and her husband, who is the producer, were genuinely so nice. And when we finished recording, I remember them saying like, Judy, the music is so good, the tone is so good. And I'm like, oh yeah, like they say that to everybody. Like, of course they're gonna be really as they should. They uplifted everybody. So I took it like with a grain of salt. I was just like, oh, thank you. Like, it was really fantastic work with you guys. And then the song drops, and my community is really nice. But the thing is, I think I could put out garbage, and you guys would blaze me, and I really do respect that. But also, I take it with a grain of salt. Same with my mom. My mom was like, Jody, you should do something with your voice. It's so good. It sounds so good. I love it so much. But first, she talked about the Toyota ad that OTU did specifically. She was like, no, your talking voiceover was so good. And then she talked about the OTU free song. She's like, no, you have to do something. And so then I was like, okay, while I do think it's your mom, and you think your mom would tell you, like, you think your mom mom would also glaze you. But the thing is, my mom, I think, also keeps me humble in some endeavors that I do, which I know you're listening to this, Mom, and like, hey, I take your words to heart. But my mom was like, no, I really think that you should just put it out into the universe. Like, just put it out in the universe. Tell your manager that you're looking for like something to do with whether it be singing, voice acting. Just put it out there. And I was like, okay, like this is again. Remember, this is in like November, December. So I'm like, okay, I'll like put it out there. I'm not really thinking too much into it. I don't really. I'm a streamer, okay? You know, I'm like, I'm not really thinking about it actively. So then also our K-pop song comes out. Yada yada. He's a little, which I'm glad. My mom is like talking about it still. A couple months pass, and it's just on my mind. I don't know. It's like a tab now open. Like I think at like month 4, it felt like it was something that was an open tab. Because it's not like I didn't feel like I had the resources to like take a step forward. Like I didn't know where to go from that, and so I kept putting it off. Like I was like, okay, I can like talk to my manager about it, but that's really all I knew how to do or could do. So my life goes on, and at this moment, this is like February ish. I'm going to the gym like every day. Okay, this is my fitness grind, which I'm really not good at, but this is my fitness grind time. I was going to the gym really regularly around like 10, 11 a.m. every day. And so I can't remember exactly. Hold on, let me recall this story. Okay, go to the. What did it start with? Oh, okay. So I'm going to the gym pretty regularly, but again, this is a tab open in the back of my head, but I'm not actively doing anything about it. I'm kind of just like sitting on it. I'm not pursuing it. I show up to the gym one day. Specifically, I'm late this day. I think I went at like noon, and I remember being just like kind of like, oh man, I'm like in a rush. I need to get to the gym. I'm running late. I show up at the gym, and I go to the machine that I always go to on leg day, and I walk over, and I'm stretching right next to it. This lady comes up to me, and I'm looking at the ground stretching. She comes up to me and she says, "Are you using this machine?" I look up, and it's Annie, my voice coach, and we both go, "What the heck?" And I said, "What the heck? It's so good to see you." Like, we just have this moment, of course, and then I see her husband also lift up weights of it. So they both come up to me and they're asking me like, how did making the K-pop music go? How did whatever go? And then I'm like, in my head I'm thinking, what the hell? What a small world. That's crazy. I didn't know she goes to the gym or goes to this gym. So I said to her, I was like, oh, do you come here often? Like, I haven't seen you here. And I've been, like I said, I've been going to the gym every day for like almost 2.5 months at this point. And so she's like, oh no, I just happened to swing by. I had 30 minutes. I wanted to see if I wanted to start going to this gym. And I'm like, what the fuck? In my head, I'm like, okay, universe, I'm listening. Because it was just like too coincidental and crazy to me. Like, she just happened to have 30 minutes, felt inclined to go to this gym, see if she wanted to go, which, by the way, she doesn't go to anymore. It was just that one day. And then I'm like, okay. So I go home, and immediately I'm like, what can I do? And I'm just talking out loud. I'm in a Discord call with Broden and John. I'm talking out loud. I'm like, so, yeah, I'm telling them this story. And Broden goes, well, what about Fan? Like, you know Fan makes music, you like it. Like, what if she, like, maybe talk to her producer? And I was like, that's a brilliant idea. So I reach out to Fan, who then connects me to her producer, and he's like, his name is June, and I love June. I literally love working with him. He also makes his own music, so please go check him out. But basically, he's like, hell yeah, let's do this. And I can't remember exactly, but he was just like, send me music that you like, let's deep dive into this. And so I said, okay, great. Still a little uncertain, but glad that I kind of took one step forward. Then I go to the gym again the next day, but I'm late again because I was messaging June late at night, so I went to bed late. So I go to the gym late again, around noon, and I'm walking. It's like I'm in mid-set. I'm mid-set of a different muscle group, okay? I'm mid-set, and this guy comes up to me, And I thought I have my headphones on or my earbuds in, and I thought he was gonna ask like, am I using this machine? So he said something. I don't really hear what he's saying, so I take it my earbud out. I'm like, oh, sorry, what? And he's like, are you a singer? Okay, record scratch at this moment in my head. I go, what? Because I'm confused. I'm double confused. It's like I wasn't expecting him to ask. I thought he was gonna ask like, oh hey, are you using this machine? And then on top of that, he's asking, are you a singer? So I'm already like, it's just a record scratch moment. So I'm like, sorry, what? He's like, yeah, are you a singer? Sorry, you remind me of my friend, and she's a singer, and you have similar mannerisms. I just said it so. I just said mannerisms like aneurysms. Mannerisms. He's like, you have similar mannerisms as her. And I go, no, I'm not. But this is crazy that you asked me that, because not even 12 hours ago, I just happened to hit up a producer to like potentially make music just because of work stuff, and like we were just trying, like I didn't want to like explain the whole thing, so I was just like, yeah, it was just like weird coincidence. And then he was like, hey, everything happens for a reason, and walks away. And so then I'm like, what the fuck? So then I'm blowing up the group message because I'm like, you guys would never believe what's happening to me. I think the universe is talking to me. So that is how this entire thing happened, where it was like, I will say, let's go back. Before my mom had really chatted and pushed me to do this, or like put it out into the universe, I feel like I was already putting out to the universe I'm kind of looking for the next thing to bring passion back into my life. And don't get me wrong, like I love streaming, but I don't know what content to create right now. Like streaming is the umbrella of just content creation, but I'm like, well, I don't really know what to stream. And you guys have heard me talk about this, and I'm like, I just don't really know who I am right now. Like, I have these interests, but I don't know how, maybe if I want to share them, or how to share them, or how to make it entertaining, yada yada. And so then I was like, well, I'm just looking for the next thing. And so that was kind of my I guess, mantra. Like, I'm just like, really, I'm trying to be open-minded. I want to open doors. I want to just like go look for something new. And then my mom says that, and I didn't think they would, oh my God, what's the word? Coincide. I don't know, like I didn't think they would collide in this way. And so I go, okay, basically, yeah, it ended up working out. And then I literally was just like, okay, universe, I'm listening. We're just gonna try music. I end up going to a session with Fan and June. They were just like, oh, come to this session. Fan played me a song with June, and you can just see how it all goes. And so I'm like, great. I go to this session. It's incredibly fun, let me say, okay? In what I imagine, okay, OTV house, it's just a bunch of streamers, right? We're a bunch of friends who live together. That's where June lives, but for music. June lives in a house full of like 4 other boys, and all they do is make music, and it's really a fun vibe. And I'm like, this is exactly what OTV is, but for music side. And so I show up, it's just a really fun time. It's really comfortable. It's very easy to relax there, genuinely. And so then basically June's like, oh, do you want to just like sing on this song that I just made? And we can like put Fan as a feature. And I was like, okay, sure, okay. So we made and finished a song in not even a full day. It was a couple hours. And the song itself, I didn't really like feel like it was me. But the experience was I was like, oh, this is so fun. Which then, if you do, was great. I went to another session, and then June brought this other friend. He had so much aura. He was like wearing a hat. He was carrying his violin. He was so swag. And it was just really fun, like genuinely. And so, basically. Wow, sorry, this was a really long-winded story. But we just sit in this 10 by 10 room, and everyone's kind of going at it, like making this beat, and trying to a couple things on the piano, and something that John told me is he says, my face is like oh my gosh, I'm just gonna find it because I think obviously he words it better than I. He just posted about it. He said, "Was so much fun making this. Jody's face is like a sauce meter. So if she's got a big smile, you know that you're cooking or not. I love your creative instinct, and it was an honor to be part of your first release." So basically, I would, as they're sitting down, making this beat, doing anything, it's true. My expression is like, I'm kind of maybe pretty neutral, but if it is something that I'm like, oh, I really like that, they know instantly, and it makes it really fun and easy, I think. So we make this, and then it's like me, and I'm gonna drop some names because okay, so it's me, June, Jondren, and then June's roommates, which is Starfall and Bixby. I believe are their title and their artist names. And we're sitting in this room, and we're just trying to like think about what are the lyrics going to be to this song? What is even like the tune? And they look at me and they're like, well, if you were to write anything, like poetry about anything right now, what would it be about? And they're like, do you have any conflict in your life? I was like, no. I was like, guys, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm on a pretty good part in my life, you know? Like, I have fantastic friends. I have an incredibly supportive group of just like of the people that I know in my real life, but also my viewers who are so like good to me and have a good relationship. I'm like, I don't have anything that I can think of. I was like, if I was to really like sit down and write poetry right now, it would be about the whimsy of life. That's literally what I said. And everyone started laughing. I was a little self-conscious about it, but I was like, but I would write about like the yearn for adventure and like, you know, like that summer feeling. And so we rolled with that. And one of the first lyrics we wrote was because, so when June writes a song and he's like making the tune to the song, God, I don't know the verbiage, like I don't know if I'm using the right vocabulary, but it's like you hear the beat and he'll just go like, he's kind of doing Simlish, like he's like singing the notes, but there's no actual word. But one of those things sounded like 5 fingers up, and that's where we started. We're like, that's kind of cute, it's kind of like dancing. Fuck it, let's go with it. And that's where it was born. And then we kind of just went into the cliche mindset of like, my mindset going into this was convincing John to go on an adventure with me. That's it. And then you kind of like deep dove into more like cliche, maybe a little corny love, you know? Like, oh, I couldn't fight it, I feel like somebody, but I'm like, yeah, it was relatively easy. I think if I was to have to write a song that, maybe was a little more super personal, I think it'd be hard, but like love, I think is like so over-encompassing that you can really add really any lyric in there that makes it fit into the beat, if you know what I mean. Okay, so, and also something that's really crazy is that there's a lot of creators, specifically streamers, making music right now, and I don't know, I feel like I just happened to stumble into the timing, because this just happened, like I made my song in, I want to say we started in June, maybe. Yeah, like we really just did it, like we just happened to, but I guess I didn't realize that creators were making music until I saw Jason's song with David, the summer one, that was really good, by the way. And then Cutie I knew had been making music, but she has been sitting on it for so long, right? Like, I kind of, like, I don't know if anyone remembers, but Cutie was on an OTV podcast. I don't even remember when that was, but that was when I first heard her song. And then I think she made the music video and sat on it for a really long time. And so, I don't know, I was just like, oh, it feels like the stars are aligning where maybe people have been creating music or whatever, but releasing it happens to be in this current present moment. And so I feel really fortunate, I guess, because I feel like I don't often stumble upon the meta, if that makes sense. Like, this is a good podcast for the next time, and I promise to talk about it next time. How about that? Like the Venn diagram of streaming, I think about often, where it's like, I like to do this thing, and then the meta, and then somewhere in the middle is where you would like to land. And I think oftentimes I'm not really in the middle, or like, I'm trying to be in the middle, but I think I'm in the middle right now. I like to do this, I'm in the meta. Hell yeah, that's cool. I love that. Double whammy. Because I didn't expect it. like I said, the thing is, I would have released this no matter what, but it happens to be at the right timing, potentially. But even then, I don't really care about the timing. Like, it just happened to work out. I'm pretty happy about it. But I loved this process so much, it didn't matter. And I'm so fucking happy about that. I'm so grateful because I feel like I was so taken care of in all steps through this journey. I've talked about this before, but the best way that I can describe it is generally when I do anything, I kind of have a pretty clear understanding of like, I have a good idea what to look for, what it's going to be like, what I can do, my capabilities here. My best analogy is like in Breath of the Wild, okay, when you're starting, you leave, you wake up, you look at the map, everything's black, okay? And I don't really like to explore until most of the map is at least uncovered. But this experience, I was quite literally, I'm Link and I have just woken up and my map is all covered in fog. But I don't know why. I think I just felt okay with doing that, and that's really different for me, and I think that's strange. Like, I was like, oh, this is very different than my usual method of just doing anything, really. But I'm okay with it. And I think part of that is because I felt so well taken care of with the people that I was working with. Starting with Annie, with OTB, and just like going from down that line, I like quite literally working with June and John, I think was such a blessing. And then onto my music video, I get to work with Broden, and I get to work with all the people that I know through Broden. Like, it just felt like the perfect storm in a good way. Everything was good, and I just had so much fun that I want to do more. My favorite part of all of this, if I'm going to be honest, was filming the music video. I obviously love the song. I think the song is also my baby. But the music video is my true child. Because I can't like make the beat on a music track right now. Okay? Like, I don't know how to do that. All I can really do is sing, change a couple notes, change some lyrics, voice my opinions there. Like, I can't really build the foundation from the top and or from the bottom and go from there. Whereas the music video is all me. I sit down and I go, okay, this is what I'm imagining. This is how I want it to play out. I think I like this kind of pacing. I'm going for this vibe. I want it to be this color. I get to decide. Basically, I'm the creative director. And something that I realized about this entire journey is that I love being the creative director, and I'm lucky because I am technically the creative director for all things Quarter Jake. And that's fucking fun. Like, if I ever don't, let's say, knock on wood, my career just goes down the drain, I really would pursue that. Like, I have so much fun with it. Like, just the idea of, like, I have this vision in my mind and I get to make it come to life, and I get to do that for me as the brand Quarter Jake / Jody. So I'm very excited for this music video. I hope that when you guys watch it, it elicits just, I hope you smile and you have a little laugh, and it just makes you feel, like, I just hope it makes you feel something, genuinely. Like, I hope when you watch it, you feel a certain way. Also, I recorded a bunch of BTS for that. So that's going to be uploaded on the Jody channel, but we're going to have like a BTS video of making this song / music video. So that could be really fun. I think that there's a lot of scenes in the music video that if I were a viewer, I think I'd want to know, like, how did you guys do that? So the BTS video, it's live out now. You can watch on the Jody channel. And I'm sure you've seen the music video. I feel like how did we do the mud scene, and how did we do the trust fall? Like, if I was a viewer, I'm just kind of curious about that. So if you are, you can check it out. It's on the Jody channel now. I also, oh god, okay. Another thing is, I went and saw a movie, all right? And technically the song releases 9 p.m. PST, because you release it usually on New York time at midnight. And so I went and saw a movie at 9:55. And the song, like, nobody's heard the song by then. But I get out of the movie, and the amount of DMs that I got on Instagram, I immediately cried. I'm reading my DMs, and I don't know how to explain it,
other than, oh God, okay, we're gonna backtrack a little bit. So Sydney was like trying to hype me up, and I basically was like, oh hey, like my release is really no big deal. Like you do whatever. Basically, she was trying not to stream at the same time as my announcement, but I was like, girl, like, it's totally fine. It's really no big deal. And she's like, no, Jody, this is a big deal, and you deserve your flowers. And I was like, well, it's fine. Like, I don't think it's a big deal at all. Like, it's fine. And it got me thinking. And she's like, Jody, I don't think that you sit down and like, yeah, give yourself your flowers. If you accomplished this thing, you did it. You made a song and you made a fucking music video. Like, hype yourself up. And I have a really hard time feeling like I did accomplish something, because in my head I'm like, well, anybody can do that. Who am I to do this? If I can do it, you can for sure do it. Like, I feel like I'm walking in blind here. But she says all that. I unfortunately don't feel any which way. Like, I don't feel proud of myself, okay? But I get home from this movie, and I read my DMs, and I screenshotted some because they were so sweet. And I cried. I cried because in that moment, I did feel proud of myself. I did feel accomplished. And I think that it's because I didn't care about making the song or making the music video. My goal is that when you listen to a song, you feel a certain way, and people did, and they were letting me know, and that's when I felt accomplished. I was like, oh, I did the thing that I did set out to do, which wasn't to do the thing, but was to elicit the feeling. And I don't know when I changed my motivation to that, I guess, but like, I'll just read some. I screenshot this. Jody, your song is so beautiful. It is so you. It feels a little fantasy, a little whimsical, but full of heart and emotion and love, which is exactly what I was hoping for from Jody's song. And I'm like, that's so sweet. I imagine myself skipping through a field of flowers on a sunny day with my partner, but also at the same time I'm a fairy. Or no? Don't know, but somehow it's magical. It's so cute, and I love it. And I'm like, I replied to this person, I was like, holy fuck, I feel so seen. Or like, another person said, oh, Jody, the woman you are, it can do so good. It makes me feel like I'm in a car driving down the road in the middle of summer at sunset when it's barely completely night. Like the singular moment of the day. Like, yeah. Thank you, even in the cold, rainy Aussie winter, summer feels like it's here. So, okay, anyone that DM'd me something where they kind of described something in heavy imagery, I'm bawling. Because I'm like, oh my god, you guys get it, you get me. And I was like I said, that's when I felt proud. So, I was honestly zero expectations for the launch. I think that I've just genuinely been blown away by the support. I can't believe people like it, I guess. I don't know. I can't believe people add it to their playlist. I'm like so grateful. And not only that, but I can see like when or how many listens that we have, how many streams. Guys, I don't know. I don't know if my expectations were crazy low. Oh my god. Like, okay, earlier this morning we had 80,000 streams. Oh, can't see this. Oops. And now we have 93. It's been like 2 hours. I'm like, oh, people are listening to this. And you can see, okay, it's really cool because you can see who's listening. You can look at your listeners. And I started crying. I've been crying a lot lately. Okay, I cried earlier today because I was like, you can see where your listeners are from. And like, you can look at your top countries. And so, for example, like the top country is America. And then you can also see, okay, just know, I'm just gonna describe it because I can't find it. This showed me stats, and it was like how many people are listening in the country. And I cried because it's like one individual in Albania, for example, is listening to my song. Just one. And of course, I'm really grateful for like the 8,000 people in America that are listening to it. But I thought about this one there's just one person, just one singular individual in Albania listening to I'm crying, listening to my song, and it was just so touching to me. I'm like, wow, you really can like, in this current modern age, your content can reach all over the world. I just think it's so cool. Genuinely. So, I'm just really glad. I'm really glad that people like it. And my dad, oh my god, okay, I'm just gonna get emotional. Obviously, my parents are very supportive and really like it, but my dad has been working on an instrumental version. And I grew up playing piano with my dad, and it's like a way that we really bonded. Like my fondest memories are just me and my dad playing piano together, whether it's like learning a song, playing a duet, whatever. I feel like music is a way that my dad and I really bonded. And so then my dad sent me an instrumental, and and so I was like, wait. I told him, I was like, hey, I'll upload this to my YouTube channel. Like, you record it, I'll upload it. And he's being really specific about it. He's like, well, I keep making mistakes. It's like, oh, we can just splice it together. It's totally fine. He's like, no. I have to perform it all in one go. It's a performance, a piano person thing, okay? I was like, okay, I understand. It's so pretty and I'm so excited. He says, it's a pride thing. Want to be able to accomplish it with no errors. So, expect an instrumental whenever he perfects performance. But overall, this experience has just made me really, it's basically, let's go back to where I talked about, the universe and how I am looking for the next thing. I don't know if this is like the next thing in my career. I really doubt that. Like, I don't think I'd ever go on tour and like push music in that way. But hey, never say. I've actually learned to never say never. This is something that I've like learned in the last 2 years. I've genuinely learned to never say never. But I don't have any plans for that. But this experience has quite literally brought so much passion back to my life, and makes me remember just how much I do love art and like expressing art and just all of that. So I imagine I will make more. This is another thought that I have, is that this song, If You Do, by Jody, genre-wise, I have no idea if that's me as an artist. Like, I kind of just want to make music in no particular fashion. No genre. I'm just kind of winging it, going with the flow, multifaceted, as I would say. That feels like a theme in my life. Like, I can't just stick to one thing, but I don't know. I think I was talking about this. I do write poetry occasionally, and something that I write about pretty often is just missing home. And I want to make a really fucking sad song. Because there have been so many moments in my life where I am homesick, bawling, just writing down my thoughts, listening to old songs that remind me of my parents, and I'm like, this elicits an emotion in me. And it makes me think back on when June and John were like, well, what's a conflict in your life? I was like, I miss my fucking parents. I miss home. And so I want to write a song about that. But I don't know. We'll see where we go. Or what genre that is. I have no idea. I think something that's really interesting also is that I don't really tend to listen to too much pop. But I made a pop-ish song. And so I'm like, I wonder what it would be like if I made songs or music that was in the genre that I normally listen to, which is like kind of like indie, alt, rock, or, I have no idea. I'm really not sure where we're going with this, but I hope that you join me for this journey, and I hope that you really enjoyed if you do, and I hope that you love the music video and watch the BTS, and that, again, it just makes you smile. And if you listen to it and you add it to your playlist, I am honored. Alright, that wraps up chapter 6, and now we will move on to Q&A. Thank you guys so much for listening, and I hope you have a good day. I hope that I spread lots of positivity. I'm giving you jazz hands kind of right now. I'm spreading love. Okay, bye. This question is from Camellia. Would you ever collaborate with other streamers on music? Technically I have. I have that song with Fan Fan, and the thing is, I would, but I'm just not a good singer. like I am, but like you have to. You know how many we like took so many takes. When I sang If You Do, like I feel like every word is spliced in because I don't have the mechanics to sing a full. Well, there was some, but you know what I mean. Short answer, yes. Long answer, I would love to. I was talking to Broden about that. I was like, so, Temple and Jody? And he was like, yeah, we're down. I was like, oh, we? The collective? Like, what do you mean we? He's like, yeah, I already talked to Julian. We're down. So that could be really fun. Cutie was texting me, and I think that could be really fun. I honestly would love to. I think that I just love creative projects. I think I just maybe feel a little like I need some practice. But I would really love to. Okay, next question from Alyssa. What artists inspired you the most for this single? I actually, I don't know if I was inspired by artists in particular, but I did make a playlist of, because I didn't know what direction I wanted, and I really didn't know how to describe like what I liked in a song or what I would want in a song, but I ended up making a playlist that I just gave to my producer, and I made it under the feeling of I would be proud to have my name tied to this song. And it's like We Fell in Love in October by Girl in Red, All I Want by Paramore, Live Well by Palace. There's a lot of Angela in here. There's also like Therefore I Am by Billie Eilish, Billy Bossa Nova. It's like kind of crazy, but more like, well, if I made a song like this, I'd be like, yeah, that feels nice. And we kind of just went with it. There was no specific inspiration. Like, it's just a playlist of like 20 songs. So something I'd be proud to tie my name to, but I don't know if that really birthed what we made. Last question is from Eliza. Ooh, it is a Patreon member. How do you deal with the feeling of being lost in life? I've been applying for jobs for about a year now, and it hasn't gotten me anywhere yet so far. I've been considering going back to school, or starting my own business, or just trying to log in and keep at it, with applications. It's like I want to move forward in life, but I feel so stuck and lost on what to do at the same time. How do you know which path to take? Any advice? Okay, first I want to just say that sounds really frustrating and incredibly scary, especially when like it feels like nothing's working out in your favor. But also, I want to challenge the mindset of which path to take, because I really am a firm believer that there is no quote-unquote right path. I think that if you just pick any path and continue like going on that gung-ho, that's a good ass path. And also, hey, at any given moment, you could be like, I'm on the wrong train, time to get up. I don't think there's a right path. I think it's just, you should just pick a path and try it. I think that in terms of getting a job, oh God, that's hard. I think like applying for jobs and it's getting you nowhere, I don't have the answer for that. But I think in terms of like, oh, going back to school or starting my own business or just trying to lock in, keep out with the applications, like those are three separate things, and no path is wrong as long as you feel good about it. And I think it's probably really hard to be in limbo where you feel like, oh, I could do this, I could do that, I could do this, but you're kind of sitting there doing none of them because you're kind of like have decision paralysis. But I guess I really encourage you to just maybe try one. And like, let's say that it is, yeah, maybe you just want to keep locking in and like trying with the business or trying to lock in and keep it up with the applications. Maybe like give yourself a timeline. Like, okay, I'm going to keep really diligently trying for the next 3 months. And if that doesn't work, maybe I'll try starting my own business. Maybe I'll just try that for the next 6 months. I don't know. I think that sounds incredibly frustrating though, and I wish you so much luck. And I give you lots of energy and positivity because that sounds really hard. It sounds really hard. But I believe in you. I do. I think that also being lost in life is something that I think everybody goes through eventually. But I guess when I'm lost in life, specifically, I do have this weird confidence that no matter what happens in my life, I will always take care of me. And so no matter how lost I get, I'm kind of just like, well, I'll figure it out. Whatever it is. It will come to me eventually. And I also always think like, Time passes. Nothing stays the same. I just also even think about my life, not even a year ago. I'm like, yeah, life is so drastically different. So I kind of just tell myself, like, I got me, and also, time will pass, and with time changes everything. But Eliza, I wish you much luck. Well, that officially is the end of chapter 6. Thank you guys so much for listening. I know that it's been quite sporadic, but thank you for listening. Please let me know how you think about this new structure. A little more topic heavy, and we have visual, camera, and yeah. And if you listen to my song and you added it to your playlist or whatever, thank you. I'm honored. I'm so honored, and I hope that when you watch the music video, it made you feel some type of way, and that you enjoyed the BTS. And again, thank you guys for supporting me. I never feel short of gratitude, ever. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time for chapter 7. Bye! You're a wet girly. Yep, I'm a wet girly. I don't need enough. I'm giving you a sunburn. I love how cold and wet it is. If you don't know what we're doing a makeup swap, which is basically I'm gonna do my everyday makeup, but do it on Tia, and then Tia's gonna do her everyday makeup, or whatever makeup you want. I was gonna do my everyday makeup.
I was gonna do my makeup that I would do if I was going live and if you wanted to.
Hi everybody, welcome back to Open. Hello everyone, welcome back to Open Book, chapter 5 officially. I hope you guys are all doing well. I am your host Jody, and I got no damn clue what we're talking about today. I know that somebody said, oh, can you come with topics, like it'd be a lot easier to follow. Honestly, I'm sorry, I can't. I wish I could, but my brain doesn't work like that. If you give me a topic to talk about, I'm going to talk about it for 5 minutes, and then I'm not going to have anything else to say. I'm sorry. It's maybe one day. But for now, we're just going to spitball. So, hey, in the timeline of things, I've been to Korea and come back. We've moved, and I'm here. Cheers to that. It sounds like everybody's currently going through it. At least I know I'm for sure going through it. And I know I'm going through it specifically because it feels like a perfect storm of things where like there's a bunch of negative things happening, and it's been so many negative things happening that it's hard to focus on the positive things because like life is neutral. You know what I mean? Like life is just neutral, but you associate negative and positive things. And so I've been associating negative to a lot of things, which then makes my outlook negative, which then makes me negative. And I'm like, no, pause. We need to go back to positive. Because, right, like, life is just the reality in which you make, in which you live in your mind. So, I was in my feels for a little bit, and I think that's good, too. I think it's honestly, like, when there's a shit, like, I think it's absurd for, like, bad things to happen, and then you go, yeah, but, like, look at this, because I think that's not allowing you to feel your feels as well. Sometimes you have to go, like, oh, like, these things are happening, and that fucking sucks. True. And then you go, it does suck. Great, I'm gonna feel that. And then I'm going to choose to now focus on other positive things. So, that's where I'm at. I feel like for the last 3 weeks, I have been in the absolute just blah. I have not felt good. I have not slept well. I feel like I've not done any good work. I feel like I've been burnt out and worried about my health, worried about my family. And that's okay. I think it's just like the little things that bring me out. So here I'll give you some positive. I put up my Christmas tree, and that brings me so much joy. I was honestly not gonna put it up, but John inspired me. and it brought me so much joy that I'm glad. I'm glad he inspired me to do so, because I'm looking at it right now, and it truly brings me so much joy, and it's such a little thing, and I'm so happy about it. I went and got coffee today and played tennis, and there is something about being outside and I just kept looking at the sun on the trees and like noticing shadows, and like truly like it grounds me so much. I mean, you guys know this. I miss Washington. I literally have just been looking at apartments in Washington. I just daydream. I'm not even to like actually move. I mean, maybe I'll move in a year or so, but just to daydream about it. I think that this is probably my last year in LA. I think I am getting ready. I don't know. I feel like I'm just kind of ready to go home. Like, I think I've been ready to go home, but it was just a matter of when is the right time. I'm feeling like the right time is coming. Let's talk about... Okay, so a couple thoughts that I've had recently are about my relationship. In the same way that I'm like, oh, I guess I'm like ready to go home, I had the epiphany that I'm 27. Like, I'm 27. Because, like, you celebrate your birthday or you hear that you say your age when somebody asks, but it doesn't really solidify, right? But I'm like, holy shit, I'm 27. I feel like I just turned 23. That's not true. But, yeah, so I'm 27 now, and I had this epiphany, and I looked at John, and I'm like, dude, this is kind of like the time where people decide, like, hey, are we gonna get married or what? Because John and I have been together for like 5 years, and coming up on 6 in July, I think. And I'm like, okay, yeah, that we've been together for a long time. I guess this is a conversation that like we should have. And when anybody has asked me this in the past, they've been like, yeah, are you and John getting married? I'm like, we're just dating. Like, John and I haven't really truly sat down and talked about it, because when I got out of a relationship prior, it was like all marriage focused, and I thought, oh, that's like a strange way to enter a relationship. For me, at least. Like, I was like, this puts way too much pressure, and I'd rather just kind of date and have the experience and then see if it works out later on. So, yeah, I like look at John, I'm like, dude, 1, I'm 27, I'm getting older, and 2, we've been together for 5 years. 3, like, I feel like if we ever want to have a conversation about children, it should be now, because I'm not gonna have kids or in the next 10 years. Like, this is our 10-year window. Like, am I gonna have kids, and is it gonna be with you? I was like, whoa, this got so serious so fast. It just felt like life smacked me in the face. But this really came about because I went to the gynecologist, who did an ultrasound on my uterus and basically was like, hey, your uterus is pretty vascular. Do you have like period pains? All these things. Basically, she's like, I think you have endometriosis and maybe PCOS. And she's like, originally I went to get my IUD removed because, as you guys know, I've been having problems with like my skin and just, there's been a lot of, I don't know what's going on. So I was like, oh, I'll just delete one variable and get my IUD removed. And she's like, yeah, why are you trying to get this removed? And then I told her exactly what I just told you. And she's like, honestly, girlie, if you get this removed, I would just put another one in you right now, because I think your I think your IUD is protecting you from your endometriosis right now. Like, it's not as painful as it could be. And it's also saving your fertility. She's like, a lot of times there can be complications. And there is absolutely something about someone telling you, oh, you might not be able to have kids. If you ask me, like, do you want kids? I'm like, It's like, not having the option is terrible. So, good news, I am fertile. And if I do take out my IUD, there's a chance I'm very able to get pregnant. Who knows, though. But it was just like it felt like someone just, I don't know, halted the car. Like, I hear the brakes. I got slapped in the face, whiplash. I was like, oh my god, life. Yeah, life is passing. I'm 27. Oh yeah. And also I felt this way because she's like, oh, do you have a partner? I was like, yeah, we've been dating for 5 years. She's like, oh, well, actually, that's not how the conversation. She's like, do you have a partner? I said, yes. She's like, is he the one? I'm like, oh. She's like, how long have you been together? I'm like, 5 years. She's like, girl, that's really long. I was like, yeah, I guess I just didn't, I don't know. I just kind of was cruising, and I feel like I just got splashed with cold water. So it just like drove John and I to have a conversation. That, I mean, it was bound to happen anyways. But yeah, I was like, yeah, so is this a long-term thing? What are you looking for? What am I looking for? Which is just crazy. I don't know. But I have thought about it. I was like, oh, I would be happy to spend the rest of my life with John. Whether that be marriage, kids, whatever. Like, I think he would make me a very happy woman. Now, that relates back to what I was gonna tie this into, was just like the Christmas tree. So I went in with John to a store that was selling decorations, and like even just like the storefront made me happy. And I was so, I don't know, I was just like not gonna buy anything, and I wasn't gonna put up my Christmas tree because it's so early. And then I was talking to John about how I love decorations because my mom would always decorate for any occasion, Valentine's Day, like Christmas, anything, you know? And I was like, yeah, there's something so special about going to a space that someone's decorated for you. Like, I do find a lot of joy in decorating myself, but having someone else do it and you come home to it is so special. And I'm like, oh, I won't really ever experience that again because I don't live with my mom and I'm the decorator. And he's like, well, how about you pick out 5 things and I'll decorate? And I'm like, I literally went, and he was like, whoa, it's okay, relax. I was like, well, then I had to decide like the color, and I didn't decide so many things. So like, decorate because it's not easy. He's like, no, it's okay. We can just pick out 5 items that you really like, and then I'll decorate. And then that really excited me because then I went around the store and I picked out 5 items, and I just picked out ornaments. I didn't pick out 5. I picked out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I picked out 9. I ended up picking out 9 ornaments that I really liked that I was planning on putting on my tree. But then I got so excited that I did it anyways. John didn't decorate. He just hung out and played Christmas music and helped me put the star on the tree kind of thing. But I just think how lucky I am to be dating a man who, he brings out the best in me. I think sometimes I can be a little rigid and like stuck in my ways, and he opens my mind a lot because he's not rigid. I feel like John, as you know, is the most fluid man, and he is very easygoing, and I just think like I'm so glad that I gave him a chance. And I've talked about this a little bit, but when I first started dating John, it was like I had just got out of a long-term relationship, so I wasn't looking for anything serious and was more open to just dating to date. And in my head, I was like, oh yeah, John's not really my type. I'm not like super attracted to his personality. And I know you're thinking like, Jody, this sounds really harsh, but it's just because it's not like my opinion is the best. It doesn't mean that, like, I don't know everything. And it's just a clear indication of that because I have grown to love him and see how he compliments me so much. And like I said, like, I wouldn't have given him a fair chance if it weren't for that perfect environment, because I wouldn't have like sought him out, if that makes sense. Basically, I think that sometimes in your head you have this vision for your partner. Like, just because they're your type doesn't mean they're the best pick for you. And I'm just really, really grateful that I gave him a true fair chance, because now that he has entered my life in every which way that he has, I'm so grateful for him. And as I look at this Christmas tree, I'm like, oh, it's funny because this Christmas tree, I feel like I could write a poem about, because I truly, like I said, I've been down in the dumps for 3 weeks, but this one event and decorating this Christmas tree has brought so much positivity in my life and just a grounding. It's just like remembering home, and it is so cozy, and it's like creating special memories with my significant other, and yeah, just all that jazz. But I basically was just saying, sometimes when you're really, I was kind of in a depressive state, like one step before a depressive state, it's really hard to do, well, anything. It's hard to do anything even though you know that you're falling into it and you're like trying to take care of yourself. But it's hard to take care of yourself in a way that is going to help you get out of it. So the last time I was in a depressive state, what actually got me out of it was Mabel swallowing a needle. Crazy girl. And I can laugh about it now, but Mabel swallowing a needle pulled me out of it because I had to take care of her and sleep in a tent for like 2-ish weeks, I think. And it gets your mind, it doesn't center you anymore, right? Like, I'm now centering and caring for another individual, which is a lot easier than caring for yourself, in my opinion. I have no idea if you all feel that way, but I think that, I don't know, sometimes it's hard to just get out of your own head. Speaking of Mabel and Genji, I miss them. You don't know, they're currently staying at my parents'. I flew them to Washington, and they're staying in a cute little apartment, but they have all this room to run, and they have a cat room, and they sleep with my parents every night. I actually think they're happier there. I like genuinely think they are like living it up. It feels like they've retired, and they're I don't know, guys, they just look so happy, and they have a really solid schedule there. They seem more at peace, probably because I'm not yelling at my monitor
In this video,
around them
I want to show
anymore.
you how to place
So
doors in
that's a little
tiny
update,
Glade.
but they're really good, in case you were curious. Okay, I'm gonna hop, skip, and a jump to a new
To do
topic.
this, we
We're just
can
talking about
click on the
relationships.
road
And
icon right here, then go to any tower or any building wall, whatever you want, to where you want to place the door. Now we just need to click and start drawing the road, and it will create a door like this. And that's
what the fuck? Wow! Bro. Yeah! Close. Bro, no.
That's it for this video. Hope you like it.
On that note, I also want to talk about friendships and how I don't think that my relationship could survive if I didn't have friendships. Like, I truly, not specifically like my relationship, but I've just learned a lot about community, I feel like, through my current relationship. Because I think in my past relationships, I would put my relationship as like number one. It was the most important, the paramount of everything, the pinnacle of life. Like, I just thought romantic relationships were the end all be all. And like my friendships were important, but they weren't as important. And now I would say that my friendships are pretty much neck and neck. Like my relationship and my friendships, I hold in the same value. Because I don't think that, wait, let me revert this. Okay, I read a book called Mating in Captivity by Esther Perel. Really good book. It's also super short if you want a quick, easy, interesting read. But she discusses how we used to live in villages and we'd rely on many, many people for many things. But for whatever reason, we've completely separated from that, and now when we're in a relationship, we hold this one person to all of these standards, to be the provider and to emotionally satisfy them and physically satisfy them and be their best friend, but also their like romantic partner. Like we make this one person wear all of these hats, and that leads to failure because one person cannot do all of those things. And I think she just words it perfectly how I feel. I'm like, I think that it's I don't know if you guys have ever heard it, but it's like, oh, your relationship would only survive in a snow globe, which is so not true for John and I actually think John and I work so well because we do not operate in a snow globe. I think in a snow globe, John and I would break up, but in a community, we thrive. And I think that's how I would hold all my relationships in the future, or just like this one in general, just any really. But I have truly learned, the value of each dynamic in every relationship you make. Some you have deeper and some are more, I guess, shallower friendships, but each have its purpose and place. And I am so grateful because I didn't think that I would ever have this. I think that I've jumped from friend groups my whole life and kind of been, or I guess it felt like I just never fit in or belonged anywhere. And I am grateful to have found roots somewhere, but also grateful to have found roots where my significant other is entangled. I think that I don't remember what it was like to have a significant other that was separate from my friend group. And I know that can be scary because like, oh, what happens if John and I break up? But I'm enjoying it as it is now. Talking about this has also just made me have another epiphany where I'm like, wow, my whole life feels like it revolves around streaming. And I don't know if that's a good thing. I think it's an easy thing. Like, my boyfriend is a streamer, my best friend's a streamer, all my roommates are streamers. And I have some friends that are not streamers, and I love that because it does ground me, and I'm able to, it feels like, honestly, like stepping into a place. It feels like stepping home, honestly. But I think that's another reason why I'm ready to move out from LA. Because everybody here is either like doing something in some sort of industry, right? LA's just the hub. And I'm kind of tired. I don't know, I respect the hustle, but I'm like ready to go back and I'm ready to go back and meet some granolas and like go on hikes and live it up there. I think I'm also looking for something new. I'm like, oh, I love streaming, but I do feel like, I'm a little bored. Not of like, how do I word this? The job itself doesn't bore me. Like, I actually really enjoy streaming, as you guys know. But because I've been doing it for so long, I am looking for, I don't know, the next, like, what's gonna excite me? Like, we just did an ad in one of our OTV, videos. And we filmed with Toyota, and we had to do an acting segment. And I actually had so much fun with that I was like, oh, like, Judy, do you want to be an actor? But the thing is like, no, I don't think I want to be an actor, but acting was fun, and like being outside of your comfort zone and trying new things is fun. I was just in the recording studio doing some stuff, and that was also like, oh, so fun, so new, outside of my comfort zone, fun. And that has inspired me to just be like, okay, what's next? And I don't know the answer to that. I'm kind of just speaking out loud, but I'm like, yeah, I kind of letting the universe answer, because I want it to, I'm like equal parts, I want to stumble into something, but also I want to work for something. But I don't want to force anything, so I'm like, okay, well, whatever is meant to be is meant to be, and I think whatever is meant to be will find me. I'm excited and inviting that next thing. I'm like getting to that point where I'm like, yeah, I'm feeling like it's time for a new chapter. But what that chapter is, I don't know, but I'm eagerly awaiting for it. Like, I'm ready for it, and I'm not sure what I need to do to like find that thing, but I'm ready. But I think that it was such an awakening, because I think we're all just creatures of habit, right? And it's another slap in the face of like, oh my god, I've just been living in habit for the last 3 years. I feel like, oh yeah, like that's what I do, that's what's successful, this is kind of autopilot. But what's new? I don't know. What's another thing we can change? I'm not sure. I don't know. Well, we made it this far. Cheers. I hope this podcast was semi-easier to follow than the last, and that there was a somewhat overarching topic at hand. So, thank you so much for listening. And I have some questions to answer. This one is relationship related, which is perfect. At the end of my podcast, you talked about your relationship. At the end of your podcast, you talked about your relationship. It's alright to ask, how did your relationship blossom to what it is now? How did you guys learn to communicate well over the years? Honestly, I feel like John and I's relationship blossomed to what it was, or what it is now, because of the environment of our work. Like, John and I, well, specifically me, I was going through a really hard time when John and I started. I was kind of I was like in a stage of isolation, and he was one of the individuals that I relied on. So I really was just like learning to emotionally be emotionally supported by him. And that taught me that, like, oh wow, I can rely on him. And that helped actually me open up, just be more vulnerable with him, and in turn him be more vulnerable with me. Like, I think that we just went through hard times together, and then streaming had its ups and downs, and we've just been through a lot work-wise with each other that also was related to our relationship dynamic, so it ended up pushing us to grow in that way anyways. And how did you guys learn how to communicate well over the years? I think this is the most important thing, is that a relationship is so dynamic. Like, there will be moments in time where you're like, holy shit, yeah, we're going through it, we do not know how to communicate with each other. Or, yeah, there's times where you communicate really well. I think it changes depending on, like, what moment you're in. How we learn to communicate, I think communication in general, in any relationship, whether it be significant, other, friend, whatever, I think comes from you're just really trying to have empathy for this other person, and understanding that if somebody's talking to you or bringing something up, it's because they love you, they care, they aren't trying to hurt your feelings, it's not coming from a place of, like, an accusation or anything like that. It's because you're a team. So that doesn't mean that John and I have always had perfect communication skills. Like, we're always kind of evolving. But I think we've always just been really good at trying to, like, decipher the moment. And being just, like, really straightforward. Like, there's not something we can't say. So in the beginning, I was just very open about, like, hey, like, if I'm gonna feel a certain way or do the certain thing, like, I'm gonna talk to you about it. Like, oh, hey, I didn't like that. Can you tell me what was going through your head? Or, you know? I think it's just a lot about asking questions. Ask questions and not getting defensive and all that jazz. Okay, this one is about my streaming journey. What pushed you to start streaming? What worries did you have when you went into it? How did you overcome the anxiety of the unknown when pursuing a passion? How do you know when you made it?
Sid, what is the best advice for someone who wants to publish content in media? There's a lot of questions in one.
What pushed me to start streaming was I was so lonely in college. Like I said, I didn't make any friends in college. I had, like, one girl who I would study with, but we don't really, like, I wouldn't say we're friends now. But there was one girl that I would study with, and so I was just lonely. Like, I literally would go to school, go to work, study, go home, and I had my boyfriend at the time. But, like, that's a lonely life. So, as somebody who loves to talk to people and, like, loves to make friends, I was not fulfilling my social basket. So streaming came along, and, like, oh my god, I loved it. I remember the early days of streaming. It was, like, me and these 10 other people, and we would just, like, talk. Like, I just had so much fun, and I've always gamed. So it's kind of just, I just fell into it because I was lonely, and it was kind of everything that I ever wanted. The worries that I had when I got into it were just sexism, really. Men were really scary, and I felt like I didn't know if I had a say. Like, I didn't know if I could defend myself or speak out, or, like, I didn't really understand mods at the time. But, you know, that changes over time. Now I'm just like, shut the fuck up, go away. How'd you overcome the anxiety of the unknown when pursuing a passion? Yeah, this is something that I just, like, took a leap of faith. I literally was just like, like, it's working out now, and I trust myself enough that if it ends up not working out in the future, I will take care of myself. It's not about, like, how did I overcome the anxiety of the unknown? It was more so, I'm willing to take this leap of faith into something that is currently working out for me, and if it doesn't work out for me in the future, I just genuinely trust myself to take care of myself in whatever which way. Like, let's say streaming doesn't work out, I am really confident that I can go get a job somewhere else. I'm like, I think I have a good head on my shoulders. It's just confidence in myself if I do fall backwards to be able to, like, pick myself up and go and do something else. And simply, what is the best advice for someone who wants to publish content on YouTube? You should just publish content on YouTube. Like, the thing is, who fucking cares? You just have to do it. Like, if you want to do it, do it. If the opinion of someone else is what's stopping you, I think you are giving that power. Like, even just the statement of, like, oh, I don't want to because what if somebody thinks something of me? That you are giving way too much power to another individual who does not matter. Like, the power should be you and you alone. And, like, I hope just even that sentence resonated something with you, because opinions will always affect you, but they shouldn't determine the end outcome. Like, we humans, community, we're kind of hardwired to care about opinions, but we are gonna face so many opinions, especially with social media, that, like, it's not natural. So really just remember that it's okay to be affected by opinions and for, like, mean opinions to hurt you, but it shouldn't affect how you think of yourself or how you go about your life, because you know who you are at the end of the day. I hope that helps. And good luck on your YouTube career. Okay, the next question. Hi, Jody. I really love listening to Open Book, and I always look forward to new episodes. Thanks. I'm 20. I'm a student right now. I'm someone who loves creating, and I really want to try out music and make songs, but I don't have experience with things like singing. For some reason, I'm too shy. It makes it more difficult to get courage and confidence. Since you're someone who's been on the internet for a while, how can I let go of the fear and embarrassment? Family perceiving me if they find me online or just happen to find out I'm trying to do something I may not even be good at. I don't really care about people I don't know perceiving me, but when it comes to friends and family, I think I'm going to hide away forever. It feels scary what they may think of me, but I don't even want to care at all. That ties back to my last answer, honestly. I truly think that once you do something and you enjoy it so much, you will just stop caring. Like, I think about me streaming. I just didn't care. Like, I'm like, okay, well, I like this thing. And guess what? I'm also making money off this thing, so this thing rocks. I love what I'm doing, and I love it enough that I don't care what you're going to say. So you should just try it. And if you love it, I think you'll end up in the same boat, where it's like, yeah, no, nothing anyone can say matters, because I know who I am, I know what I love, and, like, the thing is, also, they're projecting. Like, if they're like, oh, yeah, okay, fuck you, you wouldn't be able to post on the internet. It's like that TikTok that's like, God damn it, I had to go to work because I didn't dance in 2020 on TikTok because I was too embarrassed. But, like, low-key, yeah. You know what I mean? Okay, last question is discipline. Have you had discipline since you were young? Or is it something that you've had to develop as you grew up into an adult? I'm 16, and I really struggle to get myself to do things that I need to do. Let me think if I've had discipline. In some ways, yes. In some ways, no. I think it's gotten better as the years go on. But when I was younger, for example, with school, I just knew the I kind of knew the equation of success. Not that I knew it, but it more so was like told to me. It's like, hey, like, you need to do good in school. It's kind of like your resume for life. Sets up good habits, yada yada. So I definitely slacked in some areas, but I always, like, got my shit done because I've always looked out for future Jody. So I think that in terms of discipline, I've just always looked out for future Jody. All of my decisions, all of my actions, it's all kind of related around future Jody. I'm like future Jody's best friend. I think about her often. And I don't know when that started or why that started, but I guess I just, like, cared a lot about my future. And I knew that, well, I didn't really like my present. So if I continuously made changes based off what future Jody would want, then my present would reflect that eventually. And I would say, hell, yeah, that is exactly what happened. So the same thing happens now. Anything that I'm like, oh, I really do not want to do this. I'm like, yeah, but hey, future Jody, like, working out. I don't want to fucking work out. And I've been pretty bad about working out lately in general because my schedule's been just jam-packed. But anytime that, like, I don't want to do something, like, okay, but think about, like, when I'm 80. Like, you don't want to work out? Yeah, think about when you're 80. Or, you want to move, right? I'm like, okay. I'm not sure how I can help, or, like, what words I can say to help with discipline, other than the more that you get in the habit of doing things that you don't like, the easier it will be to do the things that you don't like. So start small. Like, you don't want to make your bed. Make your bed. And then it will get easier to make your bed. It's just like creating that literal neural pathway in your brain where it's like, oh, I really don't want to do this thing. Like, you're having so much pushback. But then once you do it, it's like, oh, that was easy.
So start small, and then you can do the big things. Like, it's kind of like how people say going to the gym and working out. It's just like, okay, just put your gym clothes on, and then don't go. But like, sure, you just start small. Put your gym clothes on, and then you don't go. Or just drive to the gym, don't go in. Whatever makes anything more digestible is so worth doing. This is something that I've learned, I feel like, in the last year, where I want to give 100% to everything, and I hate when I'm not able to. But then I realized, oh, I can just give my 10%, and that's still 100% of what I could give, if that makes sense. And I think it totally relates back to discipline. Like, sometimes you just can give 10% and that's enough. Like, you don't, just start, just do the thing. And honestly, you'll just feel better. But I think discipline is a muscle that you just have to continuously work at. Also, you're 16, you're so young. Give yourself some, it's okay. You have so much time to build up this muscle. And I believe that you will. Even the fact that you're conscious of it and thinking of it now, give yourself some slack, okay? Okay. Well, thank you guys so much for listening and joining me for chapter 5 of Open Book. And now I am going to chat a little bit about I'm going to continue on with my relationship on the Patreon episode that's a little more personal. Okay, bye! Hello, 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 hello. Hello, hello, hello.
Match found. Deathmatch. Warm up.
Aw, surrounded by minha família. We won't lose.
Fight!
I need to blow something up. Precision kill. grounded.
10 kills remaining.